Hey everyone, how's it going? Good evening, it's Larry the Batman fan here. So in today's video, we are going to be doing another Wii Hidden Gems video. I felt like it was time to get another Wii Hidden Gems video out for all of you guys. Now I have done 3 other videos on the particular topic. So if you haven't seen that video, those 3, please be sure to check those out. The first 2 that I did, I was solo on. I had no help whatsoever. And then the third video, I was doing it by myself, but I did have Retro Rob help out a bit. So I do gotta give him some credit because he did give me a list of stuff on YouTube here and post it on the channel. And also on his channel when I was talking to him through the comments section on 1 or 2 of his videos. But some of the titles that he chose, I was not going to put on the Hidden Gems video because No More Heroes 1 and 2 has been widely talked about. I mean, metaljesusrocks covered those 2 games already, and several other people have covered them on YouTube here. So to me, they're not really hidden gems, so they don't qualify for that. Neither does Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, madworld, Kirby games, Metroids, those 2 Metroid games that are on the Wii, and the 2 Zelda games, Twilight Princess and Zelda Skyward Sword. They just don't qualify because they're not hidden gems, and everybody knows what they are. When you buy a Wii, you buy it for those games. But then when there are collectors out there like me who've got over 130 Wii games, it gets kind of iffy. It's like there's like 1,500 games or so in the Wii's library, yet there's a sure amount of shovelware games, these bullshit games that nobody wants or wants to buy or play. They're garbage, So when looking for Wii titles, it's kind of a crapshoot, really, because you find like crap games like The Princess and the Frog, Anubis 2, Ninja Bread Man, the Barbie games, and say the Daring Game for Girls, and crappy ass 30 Great Games, which that game pretty much sucks. It's not a good mini game compilation. But those are just a few titles. Domino Rally, it's also a crappy game. Games like that are just not worth your time. So it can be kind of daunting, like, oh geez, I've collected all the Marios, the Kirbys, the Metroids, and the Zeldas. What else do I collect that's worthwhile? And you're like, I don't know what to find. So you end up only with like 10 titles, knowing damn well that there's actually more good games on the Wii. Now, I'm not doing this video alone, otherwise I would not be doing this video today, or tonight rather, because it's nighttime for me. But by the time you guys see this, it'll be in the morning. But I enlisted some help. I asked a few people, and if I was able to get one that actually wants to help me out, which I'm very grateful that she was willing to help me out with this video, because if I was to do this alone, I just wouldn't feel compelled to do it. I'd put it off doing it. And I gotta thank BaKi06SlimE for helping me out with this video, which you will see after I get done with my picks. So we're not going to waste any more of your time. I've got 10 games, actually 11. I got 11 games that I want to go over. Now, there are 4 here that I'm going to get out the way. I wrote them down, and I'm just going to shed light on them because I consider them to be hidden gems. The first one we have here is Opuna. That's a role-playing game on the Wii. That game is very good. I do not own Opuna, but I've heard Pete Dorr talk about it to no end. And there's a few... There's not very many people that have talked about it. Just Pete Dorr, I think. I'm talking about it, obviously. But Opuna is actually a title that's worthwhile on the Wii, and it's a great RPG game. I can't really tell you much about the storyline in the game because I haven't played it myself. I've only seen some gameplay, and it looks like a kind of like a turn-based RPG, you know. And it's family friendly. It's rated E10, you know, for the fantasy violence, and I think there's some, you know, comic mischief in the game. But it's a really good game, and it's definitely underrated for the Wii, especially when like the only RPG games that are really talked about is Super Paper Mario and Final Fantasy, the Crystal Bears. You know, there isn't that many RPG games that are widely talked about on the Wii, but that one is talked about very little, and it's very good. Alright, now number 2 is Rune Factory Frontiers. This is another role-playing game. I think it's an action RPG. I've seen some of the gameplay in it on YouTube, so I would say it's more action RPG. I'm not seeing a lot of turn-based combat going on in it. So yeah, it's more of an action RPG. And it's done with like anime type of characters, but it's done really well. The visuals and the art style of the game is beautiful looking, and the gameplay is fun, you know, and that's what you want in a Wii game. You want the gameplay to be good, you want the game to be fun, and you want the game to be worth your time. You don't want this piece of crap game that's shovelware and it sucks. You know, you want something that's actually worthwhile, and that's actually a worthwhile title for your Wii. So, another good one. Another good RPG. Now, here's another one that probably you've never heard of. But after seeing gameplay on it, it looks like a lot of fun. And that game is Kawasaki Snowmobiles. It's a racing game where you're in snowmobiles. You're racing around the track. It goes 3, 2, 1, go! You know, it has that arcadey style play. And it's good. You know, it plays very similar to Snowcross. If you guys have ever played the Snowcross games, first one's available on the PlayStation 1 and the second one was on the PS2. Those were really fun games for snowmobile racing games. And this one, it plays pretty well. You hold the controller sideways, of course. Most racing games with the Wii, you had to do that. But it works. You know, turning left, it moves left. Turning right, it moves right. You know, it works really well. It's like controlling an actual car. And I was very surprised to see that the gameplay is actually fun. You know, so, and the game's cheap too. I forgot to mention the prices. Opuna is currently going for about $60 on eBay for a copy. Rune Factory's around 30 to 40. Some might be selling it for $25, but I wouldn't say anything lower than $25. And this game right here, you can pick up for around $7 or $8, which is a hell of a deal for a hidden gem game, guys. It really is, and it's worth your time. And it's definitely not shovelware. It's definitely not a crap game on the Wii. Now, number 4, has to be Lord of the Rings. Lego Lord of the Rings. I do not own this game either. I'll probably get a copy of it, but not the Wii version. I'll probably get it on Xbox 360 or something. There's been a few Lego games on the Wii. The Lego Harry Potter games, 2 or 3 of those. There was Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, Lego Batman 1 and 2. And then there was Lego Indiana Jones and Lego Indiana Jones 2. And then they also put Lego Lord of the Rings on the Wii. But like I said, it wasn't an exclusive title because it was also available on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. And I think it was on PS2, but I'm not entirely sure about that. It might have not have been on PS2. But the game is good. It's your typical Lego game, so you're playing as Frodo or Sam, and the two of you go through the levels. You beat up little Lego characters, because it's all done in Lego form, so it's more kiddie kid friendly. It's an E10 game, only for the fantasy violence. But you whack, enemies, and then they fall into little bits and pieces, and then you collect shit, and then you move on to the next part of the game. It's pretty self-explanatory. It is kiddie, so you might say, "Oh, that game sucks," blah blah blah. But no, it's actually fun. It actually works, and it's definitely worth your time if you're looking for a game on the Wii to play that's not Mario, Metroid, Zelda, Kirby, or Sonic. This is something that's actually a pretty fun game. And you can pick this game up for around $10. So, $10 is not a bad deal at all. For a copy. Might be 12 or 13 at the most, but not more than that. Don't pay more than that, because otherwise you're getting ripped off. But, yeah. I definitely recommend that. So now we move on to the Wii games that I actually do have. And starting with, we have Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sands. I do recommend this. Now, typically speaking, Prince of Persia is not a hidden gem, because Prince of Persia has been pretty much oversaturated on everything. It started on, I think, the Sega CD, and then it moved on to like the PlayStation 2, and then they had Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, Prince of Persia: Warrior Within, and Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones. They were on PS2, Xbox, and GameCube. And then after that they went to like different platforms, mainly PS3 and Xbox 360, but there was some handheld ports as well. Well, I've got two Prince of Persia games that are on the Wii. Here's the other one, Rival Swords. And what's interesting to know is that Rival Swords did not come out for anything except the Wii and the PSP. It wasn't even a PS2 port of this game, which is crazy to think. But, this and The Sands of Time, they're both great games on the Wii. They are definitely worth your time and money. You can probably get both of them for about $25. Maybe $20 for both if you're lucky. On a good day, you might get both of them. Or $30. It's around $20 to $30 for the two, I would say. But it's definitely worth your time. What they are is they're action games where you play as this guy who explores, ruins and stuff. There's some climbing elements where you have to jump from one side of the platform and get to the other side. There's a lot of sword clashing with fighting enemies and stuff and beating up enemies. So it's an action game, but it does have some hack and slash moments in this game. Basically going around kicking all sorts of ass. It's a lot of fun, actually. It may not seem fun, but it's actually fun. And it works well with the Wii Remote and the Nunchuck, Who would have thought it would actually work well? But it does work well. They both work well. And I think that adds a little bit to the funness of the game. I know that doesn't usually make sense, but with these, it works. So there's a few games that on the Wii, people get mad when they say, it has motion control on it. That probably sucks, man. I really don't like that. Not always. It doesn't always suck. Be more open-minded, is what I say. Be more open-minded. You never know. But overall, yeah, these are both great games. Just to add a bonus, this was not exclusive to the Wii. This was also on PS3, Xbox 360, PSP, and the Nintendo DS. I don't think the handheld ports are very good, though. But the PS3 and the 360 version are probably just as good as the Wii version. And then, like I said, this was only available on the Wii or the PSP. It never came out on anything else. So, alright, so there's that. Now we're moving on, because we still got a few more titles to cover. The next game is an M-rated game. I figured I needed one M-rated game for this list. There were not very many M-rated games on the Wii besides the Resident Evil titles, MadWorld, No More Heroes 1 and 2, the Call of Duty games, and Manhunt 2, if I didn't say that already, and Escape from Bug Island, and Obscure 2, The Aftermath. But other than that, you know, there weren't a whole lot of titles to choose from that were rated M for mature. Well, this one actually is rated M for mature. It's called Onichan Barba or Onichan Bara Bikini Zombie Slayers, and it's actually a pretty good game. Now, the graphics may look a little bit shitty. They may look a little bit grainy, not as good as the 360 version. But that doesn't mean that the gameplay sucks. The gameplay is actually pretty fun. You play as a bikini type of girl. They're two sisters. They're some of the few survivors. You go through the levels, you save people from zombies. It's like during an outbreak where there's tons of zombies taking over the universe. And it's just you and your sister, and there's a few survivors here and there. So what do? You just use your beam katanas and you go around and you just destroy zombies left and right. There are different areas to explore in the game. Somewhat linear, I would say, but, you know, not too linear. And the zombies do look pretty scary, honestly. They can be a bit creepy, especially when there's multiple ones on the screen. But fighting combat in the game is pretty fun. There was this part where I was in, I think, a mall. That was a pain, a bit of a pain, because like I killed like 50 fucking zombies, and like they just kept coming back like from out of nowhere. I'm like, how's there that many zombies in this one spot? Just didn't make a lot of sense. You know, parts where you had to run to the elevator because there's zombies chasing you. You get on the elevator, it takes forever for that damn bell to bring you up to the next floor. That was annoying, but for the most part, this is not a bad game. It's a fun zombie game, you know. It doesn't rely heavily on guns, though. It relies more on your swords, using swords and stuff. And you can upgrade your swords. You can even change some of your costumes in the game. Overall, I like this game. I thought it was pretty good. I know it received mixed reviews when it first came out, but overall, it was a pretty good game in my eyes. So it's definitely one to pick up, if you get a Wii, you know. And it's around a $20 to $30 game, so it's worth the money. At least I think it is. All right, so now we're on to another racing game. We have Ski-Doo Challenge. Played a little bit of this. It's a pretty fun snowmobile racing game. Does have different tracks than the other snowmobile racing game that I mentioned, obviously. But it controls really well, and it plays really well. I like the graphics in the game. They're not too bad. Overall, the gameplay is pretty fun and solid and fluid. The announcer can get annoying, so you might want to mute him, because, you know, a lot of times, oh, he wiped out, or, oh, you know, he screwed up. Oh, he's in third place. You know, it's like, shut up. But, you know, you could mute him and turn on some Metallica instead, you know. That way you don't have to listen to the annoying announcer in the game. But, yeah, overall, I thought this was a pretty good game. I think it was also available for the PS2, but I'm not entirely sure. But, it's a good Wii game. And you can pick this game up for about $7. I mean, I picked it up for $7. Really not a bad deal for a Wii game, you know. For a hidden gem game like this, it's actually pretty fun. There's a lot of good racing games on the Wii. The Wii really perfected the racing genre. I don't know why, but they did. You know, besides like the obvious ones like Mario Kart, you'd be surprised how many good racing games there were. Alright, from one racing game to another, we have one more racing game on my list here, and that is Flatout. This was a fun racing game on the Wii. I must have put like 5 or 6 hours into this game, but I'll probably go back to it eventually. It's made by Zoo, if you can see that right there. Now, Zoo was kind of hit and miss, but their company is no longer around anymore. Some of the games that they put out were garbage on the Wii, but some of them were pretty good. I mean, I know the M&M's games were made by Zoo, at least one of them, I think. And they were pretty much garbage. They sucked. But, and there was another racing game that they made, the Off-Road Challenge, that had terrible controls, I heard. Heard that game wasn't very good either. But not everything that they put out sucked. I mean, Monster Trucks Mayhem was a decent racing game, I felt that was. And this is actually really good too. There's a lot of nice drifting in the game, a lot of crashing into cars and stuff. Plays a little bit similar to Burnout in a way. It's good. The racing is solid, smooth. Sometimes you can even see the hood fly off the top of the car, which was a very cool animation for flatout. I liked it. I thought it was a good game overall. Tracks are drawn out pretty well. Yeah, so overall, I thought it was a fun Wii game. I recommend it if you have a Nintendo Wii. There's also Flatout 1 and 2 for the PS2. I own those. There's a Flatout game on the PSP. And then it was also Flatout 3 and 4. Flatout 3 I think was strictly on PC. And Flatout 4 ended up getting a port on PC. But I think it was also on the... It's also available on PS4 and Xbox One. So... Alright, we got two more. Let me take a quick drink. My throat's getting dry. Alright, I have, which I never would have thought that this would be a hidden gem, but surprisingly it is, and it's a puzzle game. And for what I played of it, I didn't mind it. I'm not a huge fan of puzzle games, but from what I played, this was definitely a hidden gem. And it's Mercury Meltdown Revolution. You play as a Mercury in this game. That thing right there. This. And so you're put in these obstacles, right? There'll be like a grid that's there. And you use the little Mercury to navigate through the obstacle. Although there's certain doors that flap open and close up. Like this. Like that. And you have to be very strategic on how you're going to get from one spot of the level to the very end without dying. There are parts where you had to figure out how do I get over there, without falling off. And if your Mercury falls off, you go back to the beginning of the level. So it can be a bit irritating. But with a lot of time and patience, you eventually do get good at it. And for me, there was this one level I was like, excuse me, there was this one level where I was having a little bit of trouble getting past a certain area, but I eventually was able to get past that part. But I must have tried 30 times before I finally got past that part, because that part was pretty fucking frustrating. But when I finally got past that part, I was pretty happy. And then moved on to the next level. It's definitely a game that you can play for, an hour or two. But it's one of those puzzle games that you do eventually go back to. So in my eyes, this is definitely a hidden gem for the Wii. And it definitely doesn't suck. I mean, if it kept me entertained that long, and then I put it down and then went back to it another day, I would definitely say that this is a good game on the Wii. And I got this with 3 other games. So it was this, Rock and Roll Adventures, a bowling game, and Smash Brothers Brawl. I mean, that's the main reason why I got it, Smash Brothers Brawl, because it was it's $20 for all 4 of those games, $25. So that's what sold me the most. But to get the other games, the bowling game ended up being okay, nothing special, and Rock and Roll Adventures, I didn't get to play, but I heard that game sucks. I couldn't play it because the disc was really scratched up. It would not play in my Wii U, unfortunately. But this I did get to play some of, and I actually enjoyed what I played. So I recommend this game to you guys. Definitely think it's a good game and worth your time and money. And it's only around $5 to $10. You can't go wrong for that price. The last game, I picked this up for around $15. It went up a little bit in price. There was a time where this game was only $5, and you're like, damn, $5. It's a T for teen game. And you were probably thinking back then in like 2011, 2012, something like that, oh, this game's gonna suck, it's gonna be crap. But no, actually, it's a hidden gem. And that game is Spyborgs. Who would have thought that this would be a good game? But it is. So you play as this guy here, this dude right here. And I think you and one other person, because you can play co-op as a guy or a girl. You go through the levels, and it's a beat 'em up game. You beat things up. And there's parts in the game where there's like robots and stuff that you gotta fight, you know. And then you have other parts where you're told to go to a certain spot to get something. But overall, it was a fun game from what I played. I thought it was a pretty good game. Levels and the environments are beautiful. It's gorgeous. The graphics do look pretty good for this game. The gameplay was fun as a beat 'em up style game. I think you even do get to ride in a robot in a certain part of this game. I didn't get very far, but I think you can. So overall, I thought Spyborgs was a pretty good game for the Wii. And for $15, you really can't go wrong for $15. I mean, come on. Some might have this for $10, so it's around that price, 10 to $15. But for a Capcom game, I like it. It was pretty good. I dig it. So that's pretty much what I have to say on my part. But stay tuned because BaKi06SlimE, she's got 5 or 6 titles that she wants to talk about in her part of this collab. I gotta say thank you to BaKi06SlimE for being a part of this collab. You made me very happy, and I appreciate everything that you do. I appreciate you watching my videos, and I appreciate your support. I am watching your videos now as I have just discovered you like a week ago, and I'm actively going to go through and watch all of your videos. So hopefully I'll do the same for me. I'll support you, you support me. And thank you for your participation in this collab too. And thank you to all the viewers who are watching this video. We do appreciate you guys watching this video. So without further ado, I'm going to pass this over to BaKi06SlimE, and she'll provide 5 or 6 games that she wants to mention for the Nintendo Wii Hidden Gems. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's me, Larry the Batman fan. So there were a few more games for this collab video here that I wanted to mention, just to make sure I covered everything. I have one of the games. It's on the shelf. I'm not gonna go get it right now, but it's called Geometry Wars Galaxy. What it reminds me of is like a shoot 'em up type of game. You're in like a little spaceship to go through a little grid area, and you're shooting things on the screen rather. And there's a objectives, and there's a goal to the game. It plays a little bit like Asteroids, like a 3D Asteroids in a way, but then again it's its own thing. And honestly, I think it's a pretty good game. Yeah, I would definitely check out some gameplay here on YouTube to see what it's like, because it's actually a hidden gem in my opinion. Geometry Wars Galaxies, that's the name of the game. Next up, we have a fighting game for this list. I figured I needed another fighting game. It's not Smash Bros. Brawl. Super Smash Bros. Brawl, in my opinion, is not a hidden gem at all. It's actually the most successful fighting game on the Wii, so it's not that one. I already mentioned Legend of the Dragon in my Hidden Gems Part 3, so we're not talking about that. We're not talking about Tatsunoko versus Capcom. So what does that leave? Well, that leaves Guilty Gear. And I know what you're thinking. How is Guilty Gear an underrated gem, hidden gem on the Wii, when it's so widely talked about? Well, to be honest with you, normally, typically speaking, Guilty Gear is not a hidden gem because it's been out there for many years, been on the Xbox and the PS2. They released Guilty Gear for the PS5 as well. I saw Gore the Movie God actually has that game, you know? So, but the Wii version is less talked about, so I'm including it on this list. What it is a fighting game. You got a lot of fair and balanced fighting mechanics in the game. It's not overcomplicated. It's easy to pick up and play. The graphics are actually pretty good for the game. And overall, the game's a fun fighting game. So that's why I have it on the list here. Because it's underrated. No one's talking about the Wii version of the game. And overall, it's a good game. With fair and balanced fighting mechanics. And the characters in the game are somewhat memorable. I don't think they're as memorable as, say, Soul Calibur, but they're somewhat memorable. So let's see, that's 3 we just talked about, I believe. Well, I'm going to give you 1 or 2 more. We got a JRPG called Arc Rise Fantasia. Now, just to give you guys an idea, Geometry Wars Galaxies is around a $10 to $15 game. On eBay, it's not very expensive. So that one's pretty affordable. And then you got the other one, what did I say? Oh yeah, Guilty Gear. That is around I think a $20 to $30 game. And then the one I just mentioned, which I just forgot. Crap. Guilty Gear. Oh yeah, Arc Rise Fantasia. That's what it was. This game is a JRPG, and it's around a $40 to $60 game. It all depends on the condition. If you get a disc only, it'll probably be about $40. But if you get it complete in the box, you know, like with the white case that it comes with, and the cover art and the manual, then you're gonna pay probably $60 or $70, $50 if you're lucky. But it's good. The graphics are good, and how the game starts out, from what I saw, I don't own the game, but I've seen gameplay on it here on YouTube. This guy's like fighting these dragons, and he ends up slaying one of the dragons, but another dragon comes in and swoops in and knocks him off the cliff. But for some reason, he doesn't die, he lives. Then he comes across this girl that has some magical powers, and she ends up joining him on the quest. Although, she doesn't really know what the hell's going on, you know. And some of the questions that she's being asked, she doesn't know the answer to, so he gets a little frustrated with her. But when you start playing the game, you and the girl, you go through the like woods area. The grass and plains and the fields look gorgeous. They look very bright and colorful. The menu system, oh my gosh. The menu system in the game blows my mind. Like, there's like 100 different choices, maybe more, 200 different choices. When you're scrolling down, you see all these potions and things, and all this reading and text. It's like, it blows my mind. There's so much shit on the screens. It's crazy. It would take you a while to read all that too. But it's good. It's a really fun RPG game. It is turn-based because you hit the enemy, and the enemy comes back and hits you until one of you is dead. But you hope that you are not the one that ends up dead. And the graphics are beautiful, and the environments look colorful and bright. And overall, that's a very good game on the Wii. It's an underrated RPG in my eyes because I don't hear anybody really talking about it. When they mention RPGs on the Wii, it's usually Super Paper Mario or it's Final Fantasy the Crystal Bears. That's the one that they also mention a lot, which I do own. Or Xenoblade Chronicles. But not Arc Rise Fantasia or Rune Factory. They don't really mention those. There is some hidden gems for RPGs. Another game I want to mention, which typically, I wouldn't say is a hidden gem, is Mortal Kombat Armageddon. It's a really good fighting game on the Wii. Now, the game's not exclusive to the Wii. It was also released on the Xbox, the original Xbox, and the PS2. But it is surprising to see that the game actually got a port on the Wii, you know. And it's actually good. It's fun. You do all sorts of combos and shit, and kick ass as Sonya Blade or say Sub-Zero, you know, or Scorpion. And I like to use Raiden personally. I think Raiden's badass with that blue fire shit that he has in his hands. It's crazy. It's awesome. But I kick ass with Raiden in that. I fight with Raiden. I do well with Raiden. So I usually choose Raiden when I'm fighting. Now, I don't own this game, but I did in the past own it for PS2, and it was a ton of fun. You get like every single character in the Mortal Kombat franchise is in the game. You know, they really perfected that, adding the right characters and shit. You really can't go wrong with Mortal Kombat Armageddon, even on the Wii, because it controls well, it plays well, and it's just awesome, you know. But I will say that the difficulty level in the game, as you move on from beating this character and that character, just beating them up and getting their health all the way down to 0, or causing a fatality by them getting hit by a train or getting stabbed by one of these sharp objects. The difficulty eventually gets really tough. I mean, it gets super tough. Like, Mortal Kombat's just one of those games where when you progress, it gets harder and harder, you know. I never beat Mortal Kombat Armageddon, but the game is fun and the game's good. And it's one of the other mature rated titles on the Wii. Next up, we have a game called GT Pro Series, and this is actually another fun, competent racing game on the Wii. Who would have thought that there would actually be a lot of good racing games? But the thing is, a lot of the racing games on the Wii, they control good. There's only a few that suck, like Yamaha Supercross. That one sucks. But GT Pro Series is a good racing game. Standard racing game with little cars and stuff, and go through the levels and tracks, and you race around the track. I think 3 to 5 laps. It's basic, but simple and straight to the point, or short and straight to the point, I should say. And it's a really fun game on the Wii, and it's definitely worth a buy. And you can get this game for about $15, or you could get the collector's edition that I think it had a poster and a few other things. Might have came with a Wii remote for like 30 or 40 bucks. Actually, I think it was a steering wheel that it came with and a remote for like 40 bucks. But if you just want to get the game, like you have the steering wheel already and the Wii controller, then you don't really need that version. You should just get the original version with just the game itself. And for $15, it's not a bad deal. I forgot to mention that the Mortal Kombat Armageddon game on the Wii is around a $15 to $20 game as well for the Wii. It's not very expensive, but it's fun as well and worth the money. So yeah, that's some more hidden gems for the Wii. Now you're going to see BaKi06SlimE's part for the collab. I hope you guys enjoyed this collab video that we have put together. And hopefully you guys watch it all the way to the end. God bless you all. Now here's BaKi06SlimE's part to this collab. Enjoy.
Hey guys, okay. I never would have thought I would be collabing with Larry the Batman fan, but that's not the point, y'all. That's not the point. It's a great opportunity. But let's get straight into it. So these are the most underrated Wii games. Like, why are these games not more popular? Now, some of them have a little value in them, but they're not like as popular, you know, as the other Wii games. So let's get straight into it, y'all. So our first game is gonna be Dragon Ball Revenge of King Piccolo. If y'all don't know, this game is a 2009 game. Like, it came out in 2009. I don't know what date, but it came out in 2009. Now, this game is a platform beat 'em up that focuses on the adventures when he was a kid, you know, when he was little, like when the anime just started, or manga. So yeah. Now the first level starts out when you're like near the, if y'all remember the Red Ribbon Army base, if y'all know what I'm talking about, I'm show right here. Yeah. While Goku was looking for the four-star Dragon Ball. Now, the graphics of this game still hold up to today. Like, now I've seen way better Dragon Ball games, like graphically, it looks way better, but it's pretty decent. Like, it holds up to today still. Now, the controls are very simple, like simplistic, and the combos are kind of like easy, you know, like really basic. Now, y'all, I would recommend y'all to play with a GameCube controller because it feels way better, like all that, you know. Like, if you play with a Wii remote, it's gonna feel like clunky for real. But if you play with a GameCube controller, it's gonna feel way better. There are a fair amount of platforming challenges, so yeah, platforming, like, y'all love. Now, this is a little different from the other Dragon Ball games, in my opinion. I really don't see platforming challenges like that much. But yeah, this game has it, like, yeah. Now, they did take some parts out the game that was in the anime or manga. I don't know why they did that, but it makes the game look a little, like, I wish they put some stuff in there that was in, you know, the manga. Because I feel like it'd be kind of cool to see, like, the 3D feel of it, not like a show kind of perspective. Like, more like a game perspective, and it's like 3D. Like, it was on the other game. I don't know what. It wasn't on the DS. It was on a Game Boy or something. I can't remember, but it was on that, and it looked cool on there. And I want to see it in like a 3D type of feel, you know. But it is still a good game. Like, I still like it. I feel like it's a 8 out of 10 game, and I feel like more people should still play it. But I just feel like they should have put some of the stuff in there, you know, yeah. And the game is like 6 hours long, not really a long game. But I recommend y'all play it, y'all. Like, I really recommend it, like, for real. Like, a Dragon Ball game. Very underrated. Very underrated. But, yeah, now it is kind of like a kid's game. It is kind of like a kid's game. Kind of, but you can enjoy a kid's game. You still be playing Mario Kart. Yeah. Yeah, you can enjoy a kid's game. And our next game is No More Heroes. No More Heroes has a great art style, and it's really funny. Like, it's very funny. Dark humor. Yeah, I'll say dark humor. The combat is good, but not great. I mean, you basically doing the same combos. Either you're doing a wrestling move or, like, you know, slash move. But yeah. I mean, it's cool, like, for the first levels, you know, but after that, it's not really different. But, yeah. And we have an open world and rank battles. Now, that's, like, majority of the game. Like, open world is trash. It's really kind of clunky. Like, you can't even interact with people. Like, I feel like they should have made, like, you can talk to people, like, that would be kind of better, y'all. Kind of better. And there's a ton of mini games. I love mini games. They're weird too. They're like really weird. Like very weird. Now, some of the challenges, you get hit once, game over. And you gotta start all the way over, and you gotta drive all the way back to it. And you know the open world is like as soon as you hit the car, you get out the car, like, and you got, well, it's not really a car, it's a motorcycle, but that's annoying. And in real life, you know that joint is heavy, so it kind of runs, the game just kind of runs slower. And yeah, but you can do a lot in this game though. You can buy clothes, and well, my PC just turned off. Oh y'all can't see my password anyway. But yeah, you can buy clothes and customize your character. I love that type of stuff. But they can do better with the, you know, like the combat and the open world. They did upgrade that in the second one. I only played the second one. I mean, not only played. I played the second one. I haven't played the third one. I haven't bought that one yet. But yeah, it's an underrated Wii game. I like it. Really funny. And the story is pretty great. Pretty great. And our next game is WarioLand Shake It. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, my bad. In my opinion, most Wario games are like underrated to me. No one really talks about it like that because they glaze Mario or Luigi. Mainly Mario, because they haven't made a Luigi game in a while, but that's not the point. That's not the point at all. And yeah, in my opinion, all of them are underrated, but we're going to talk about Wario Land Shake It. Game is a platforming game, like most Mario, you know, like Mario Galaxy and all that type stuff. Like, yeah. And it was released in 2008 by another company. I don't know the name of the company, but, and then it was published by Nintendo, you know, naturally. And this was the last Wario Land game like ever released. I don't think they released any more after that. Yeah. See, I tell y'all, they be glazing Mario. I mean, I like Mario. Like, I do. But they sleeping on Wario Land. Or Wario, in general. This game has a beautiful art style, animation. Like, it's one of them ones, you know? Like, it looks good, in my opinion. I don't know about y'all, but it looks good for today. I don't care. Nobody say. I don't care. In my opinion, this is like the best looking game on a Wii. I am sorry. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care. Alright? It just looked good. I haven't seen one better than that, and I'll probably never see one better than that. Speaking. The soundtracks are amazing. Like, you got some upbeat ones, you know. No, I can't sing it because, you know, copyright. And y'all, we all know that Wario is greedy. Like, why are you this greedy? But he unintentionally helps people, even though it's for the wrong reasons. But he still helps them without even realizing it. Trying to get some type of gain. It's crazy, but that's not the point. But, like, the game is, like, great. I recommend it. Very underrated. Like, no one talks about it anymore. And I don't see why y'all don't talk about it. Because Wario games are great. Y'all just be sleeping on them. And y'all know that. The reason why he's helping these people, whoever he's helping, is to get a bottomless sack, unlimited coins, unlimited money, unlimited wealth. That's crazy. I can't do that. I mean, maybe in real life, but Still, like, how do you do that? Like, what? Yeah. And the platforming is, you know, your typical platformer, in my opinion. But the game is kind of fun, you know, a little bit, you know, for Wario. This is probably the only Wario game I played. Probably. Yeah, probably. And I'm gonna put the stuff on this side so y'all can see what it looks like. But, yeah. Only thing that's kind of really wrong with it is some motion issues. You know, the Wii, you always don't hear that. I mean, not always, because there's some games that the Wii really worked well with, but yeah, some issues, you know, and some level design issues, but other than that, it's really a good game, so I recommend y'all check it out. Yeah. Now, this is my favorite racing game ever. And I mean ever. Mario Kart, you're trash compared to this game. I am sorry. The sight bots is that. It's literally that. This is the biggest unknown game on the Wii. I know you've never heard of that before, but it's like that. It's like that. Like, you can do a lot in this game. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Y'all don't know about it. Crazy. Now, these cars are like insects, like frog looking things, insects type bots, you know, like, or cars. Like, the cars is like bots, insect bots. Yeah, I'm gonna say it like that. And this game is super fast. Like, I never seen a game this fast before. On the Wii, at least. I don't know about anywhere else, but Mario Kart, you're like garbage. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Like, now, the game is not about getting first place. It's about getting the stars so you can get enough points to go to the next level, or buy new bots, or yeah, buy more bots, cooler bots. Let's just say that in this game, and you can play football and soccer in the game while you're racing. What game does that? No game does it. This game is so unique. Like, I never seen a game like this ever, and I recommend y'all pick that up. The sight bots, trick racing. It's one of them. It's that. And our next game is madworld, a stylish and violent third-person action game that's also a comic book look. It has a comic book look. Now, y'all, I mean, it's the most bloodiest game or goriest game I ever seen in my life. Well, on the Wii. Because the Wii is like towards children. Kinda, not really. It's jaw-dropping if y'all see it. If you're scared of like that type of stuff, I wouldn't recommend playing this game. If you feel icky about, you know what I'm saying, gore, I wouldn't recommend this game. But it's still a good game. But it just got too much. And yeah, like, this game is just so okay. Like, you do every type of killing ever in this game. Like, I'm telling you, let's see the bloodiest movie I can think of. Like Deadpool, like that type of fighting, but worse, more. Now, the only colors you really see is white and black and red and yellow. That's pretty it, y'all. Y'all probably think I'm trolling or not telling the truth, but that's really the only colors you really see. Like, I like that. I wish you had color in it, because, you know, I like color, but it still look good. It still fits it. You know, he's like a samurai type guy. You have guns in the game and swords. But bro, this game, y'all wouldn't believe it. It's not a gun. I say gun. It's a chainsaw. I can't believe I forgot about that. It's ridiculously violent, like, and it's funny, but if you really don't like that type of stuff, you know, like, I would recommend it, because it's a lot of, you know, that red color paint, you know, it's a lot. I'm telling you. You think I'm trolling. It's really like that. It's really like that. And it's a beat 'em up. Yeah. Why wouldn't it be a beat 'em up? But yeah. They start a game show where you have to kill everybody. That's sad, bro. But that's not the point. Now they are poison, so that's why they are fighting like to the death. So they have to find the antidote. So you gotta hurt everybody. Yeah, crazy. And this game was made by a Final Fantasy fan. Final Fantasy was nowhere near like this. I'm telling you. The person you're playing with his name is Jack, you know. And you go to city to unalive everybody. Yeah, that's crazy. And you play some mini games in there, you know, some during the story, you know. Some stories would go in there, you know, some a little bit, not too crazy. And I'm surprised that we're using a nunchuck and a Wii. Like, this I would use with a GameCube controller. But I don't even know that's compatible, but this is crazy. I recommend y'all check this game out, but unless you're icky about that type of stuff, don't get this game. Don't get it. And this is it. That was my last game. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, you know, to both our channels. And yeah, we're out. Peace.